video that you're about to watch, all rights belong to the Young Turks. This video is being used for educational purposes. Let's proceed.
A jury in Arizona has just acquitted an ex-Arizona cop who was found on camera to shoot and kill an individual who was sobbing for his life and who did not have weapons on him at the time. Now, this story involves the shooting of Daniel Shaver. It happened back in January of 2016, and the story began when Shaver was in a hotel with friends. He worked as an exterminator, and so he had air rifles that he used during his job to shoot certain types of birds. Now, there were witnesses who said that he was seen waving his air rifle outside the window. As a result, they called the cops. And at that point, a Mesa, Arizona cop by the name of Philip Mitchell Brailsford, who was 27 years old at the time, showed up. And what you're about to see is a video of what occurred next. I want to warn you, this is one of the most difficult videos that I have personally seen of police brutality. It's very graphic. It's very difficult to watch, but it shows you how everything went down, and then we'll discuss the jury's decision in this case. Take a look.
Stop right there! Stop! Stop! Get on the ground, both of you! Lay down on the ground! Lay down on the...
Now, I don't know if anybody saw that, but as soon as Daniel Shaver came around the corner, he hit his knees before the officer even told him to get down on the ground. So that shows you right there that Daniel Shaver was being compliant. And any officer who was trained properly in tactics and in observing a situation like this would have known that this, he's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. So, yeah, right. But this person right here was obviously being compliant. You got a gun pulled on you, yo, coming around the corner. You didn't expect that. You're going to be freaking scared for your freaking life, yo. Come on, man. And you're going to make mistakes during that. Let's move on.
Instructions. I'm going to go over some of them again.
Yeah, nigga, because you got a gun on me.
Understanding?
Yes.
All right. If you make a mistake, another mistake, there's a very severe possibility you're both going to get shot. Do you understand that? Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. This is... Shut up. I'm not here to be tactful and diplomatic with you. You listen, you obey.
Did you hear the way he told him to shut up? Did you hear his tone? That's unprofessional right there, yo. In every sense of the word.
For one thing, did I tell you to move, young man? Did I tell you to put both your hands on the top of your head and interlace your fingers? Take your feet and cross your...
Calling him no, sir. That kid was being very compliant. He was even being respectful, calling him no, sir. This scumbag didn't even deserve to be called sir. You Calm down, Pastor.
Left foot over your right foot. If you move, we're going to consider that a threat. And we are going to deal with it, and you may not survive it. Do you understand me? Yes, sir. Okay, young man, listen to my instructions and do not make a mistake. You are to keep your legs crossed. Do you understand me? Sir. You are to put both of your hands palm down, straight out in front of you. Push yourself up to a kneeling position. I said keep your legs crossed. Sorry. I didn't say that the conversation. Put your hair! Hands up in the air! You do that again, we're shooting you. Do you understand? Do not shoot me. And listen to my instructions. I'm trying to do what you... Don't talk! Listen!
Oh my God,
Hands straight up in the air. Do not put your hands down for any reason. You think you're gonna fall, and you better fall on your face. Your
You better
hands
fall.
will make
You better fall on your
back
face.
or down. We
Are you
going to shoot you. Do you understand me? Yes, sir. Crawl towards me. Crawl towards me. Yes, sir.
You can already tell this ain't gonna turn out good.
Don't go.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Lord Jesus. He just fucking murdered that kid. He just fucking executed that kid right there. Are you fucking kidding me? And he wasn't black. That was a white kid. Oh my God, bro.
Put the cuffs on. Just put the cuffs on. Walk over and put the fucking cuffs
cuffs on him.
What are you
Right?
waiting for? Why you gotta make him go through a monkey
Why you go
bars?
through the whole
Why you doing
rigmarole?
that?
What the fuck?
I'm going to give you clear directions. No,
No, they didn't.
Put your hands down. Put your hands up. Put your hands down. Put your hands
Now
up.
crawl.
That fucking cop was so
What are you doing? Go over there and put the fucking cuffs on him. Jesus Christ, they murdered that guy. And he got off.
In
He
cold
got
blood.
off.
So,
In cold blood.
Jesus
God, I couldn't
Christ,
So,
man.
according to NBC, jurors who watched the full video showing Daniel Shaver's death agreed to acquit
What's wrong
former
with those
Mesa
people?
No
officer Philip Mitchell Brailsford of murder. Brailsford faces as many as 25 years in prison for the second-degree murder charge. I'm going to skip ahead to graphic 29 because this just gives you a sense of the mentality among those in the police union. The president of the Mesa Police Union said that he was extremely relieved with the verdict, although not surprised, and added that the union felt charges should never have been filed to begin with.
Yeah,
So you can't trust the cops in this country. This is what happens no matter where it is. The people who are supposed to be protecting us come out and protect the people who are killing us and brutal. It's to the point, that guy was white. And I don't know, Jake, how you feel, but I get pulled over now. I got pulled over and a cop had his gun out, and I was afraid for my life. I'm like, oh my God, I'm white, it doesn't matter. They're going to shoot me. So this happens now. The whole country's paranoid about cops, even white people, and no one's doing a goddamn thing about it.
Well, look, now we all know how it feels to be black in this country. And they felt that for hundreds of years, and now we're all feeling it. So there's a couple of issues here. First of all, do you know what he called the cop who shot him with an AR-15? Why does he have an AR-15?
Why do you...
Okay, in a situation like that. Okay, by the way, Jeff Sessions thinks that they should have more military weapons, the police, and he's going to give them more military weapons like an AR-15. He thinks that our criminal justice system should not be reformed. He's rolling back the reforms that Obama wanted to implement. Okay, you know what he engraved on his AR-15? The cop? You're fucked. Okay? That was one of the reasons they later let him go. Because they're like, this guy's out of control. He goes and engraves "you're fucked" on the AR-15, and he killed this guy. And so, but no, the police union comes out and goes, oh, he shouldn't even been charged. Well, of course we murder people in the hallways. Well, no matter what they do, we kill them. Of course, how dare you charge us? We're above the law, right? And so, and that was, the engraving was not allowed into court. It was inadmissible.
Yeah, why is that inadmissible?
So
Here's the crazy thing about it. 75% of the cops out there, they became cops because they got bullied on in high school. And they thought, hey, I'll become a cop. I got a badge. Respect my authority. You ain't gonna pick on me. You got a few who come out the military to become cops. You got some who saw it on TV and Hollywood and glorified, Miami Vice, all that shit. And you got some who had people in their family that were cops or whatnot, so they decided to come on. And then you got a few that want to become cops because they really want to help people. But majority of them are fucking scumbags. They got bullied on in school, so they decided to become a cop because a badge would save their bitch ass.
look, guys, in my opinion, there's two fundamental problems here. One is police training. Nope, don't take, I've said it a billion times, I'm 100% right. You can see it in the video. They teach the cops to be cowards.
Yep.
They say to the cops, do not be selfish, don't care about the community. If you need to murder the community, it's fine as long as you don't take 1% of 1% chance. I mean, walking over.
And that's the thing. In the military, if you did this over in the military, overseas just shooting somebody, just because they were suspicious, because they did something wrong like that, you'd get court-martialed, yo. You would get court-martialed for that 9 times out of 10. They do that, and sometimes they call it, what's it called? Collateral damage. Oh, well.
Handcuffing that guy. I guess it's 1% of 1% of 1% chance that maybe he's got a nail file or something, or the air rifle. How is he hiding a rifle in his shorts? A rifle was reported, right? So how's he hiding the rifle in his shorts? It doesn't matter. Don't take 1% of 1%. Don't get a hangnail. Murder that guy. He's got 2 kids at home. And those kids are never going to see their dad again because we train our cops murder at first sight. So don't ask questions. Don't take any chances. You're supposed to protect us. And instead, you tell them, don't protect, only care about yourself. They teach them these moronic, morally hideous things like, better to be judged by 12 than carried out by 6. If the other guy's carried out by 6, we don't give a shit. He's just a citizen. Let him get carried out by 6. Let all of them get carried out by 6 people. Let them die. As long as I don't have to. And consequences, we're getting.
You know what? And that's what's getting ready to happen. You're going to have citizens say that they would rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. And you know what's going to start happening? Citizens are going to start taking rights into their own hands because we're supposed to be secure in our own possession, whether it's in our car or in our home, in our hotel room, or even in the hotel that we're paying for to stay at. In that building, we're supposed to be secure in our own. So if an officer comes up and is getting ready to attack somebody as they're feeling they're getting ready to be attacked by a rogue cop like this scumbag and the other scumbags out there who have done the same thing and got away with it because they would rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6, then the citizen's going to be saying the same thing, and they're going to kill you fucking crooked ass cops before you can kill them so that they'd have a day to be judged by a jury of 12 and stand as not guilty.
Put it every time.
So
every time.
Can't
The
defend
second
yourself if you're
problem
dead.
is The guns. So, hot tub, there's a couple in the hot tub, they see a gun. I get why they're concerned. There's mass shootings every day. They report, it's not a gun, it's an air rifle, but they can't see straight. I don't blame them at all. I'd be concerned, right? So they're like, well, maybe it's a mass shooting. But there's a mass shooting every day, so the cops are concerned. They're like, oh, I could get murdered. There's mass shootings every day. Everyone has a gun. Everyone. If they reach for this way or that way, they have a gun. Because it's kind of true. In America, there's at least 250 million guns. So everywhere is a gun. So the cops are like, I'm not taking any chances. Everybody's got 8 guns. So I'll just kill them and be done with it. So this combination, this literally lethal combination, is what is causing that our cops to not protect us, but to systematically keep on shooting.
there's definitely this sense of paranoia among cops throughout the country. There's no question about that. But in watching that video, and we didn't show you the full video.
Let me tell you something. You join the logging industry. You join the oil rig industry. You join the military. You join being a firefighter. There are risks that you're going to take. It's hazardous. You might lose your life in any of those jobs, but it's okay for a cop who's scared that he might lose his life to go ahead and just kill somebody, though that's the job you got into. You got into a job where you might lose your life, you pussy ass motherfucker. Okay, so if the firefighters who had not ran into the towers on 9/11 said, fuck it, I'm not running up into those twin towers, I'm getting ready to die. Hell no, let them motherfuckers die up in there and burn. I'm not running up in there. That firefighter wouldn't have been doing his job. You're doing your fucking job. You might lose your life. Simple as that. That don't mean you have a motherfucking Judge Dredd motherfucking be the judge, the executioner, and the motherfucking jury all in one right then and motherfucking murder somebody, yo. Cause you scared for your life, bitch. You signed up for that job, pussy.
We showed you the most relevant parts, but the sense that I got from watching that video was that he enjoyed that power.
Oh, God.
And in the defense, during this trial, the argument was made that the reason why he reacted the way he did was because there was a woman in the hallway that he wanted to protect. But if you watch that video, he's threatening to shoot the woman in the hallway as well. And he seems drunk off that power. He seemed like he had already made up his mind before he pulled that trigger.
He
Even
did.
if there was a woman behind
I
him.
feel that.
Even if there was 28 people behind him, there was so much time for them to leave the building. Why didn't you just get them to safety? In the old days, look, there's no good old days. In the old days, they used to kill black people all the time too, unfortunately. Cops disproportionately, etc., right? But at least they would say, put your hands up. And then they would go to handcuff you. They would say freeze. You remember in all the TV shows, they used to say freeze, right? So now, any wrong twitch, and that's why, Jimmy, you're right. If you're pulled over, you have a legitimate fear of your life. Now, by the way, since everyone is armed, I'm not armed, but almost the whole country's armed. Now you got legitimate fear of cops. Oh, Jesus, this is a recipe for absolute disaster. And look, some of the cops, like that guy looks like he's on a power trip.
Yep, look
But
at him.
It's not just bad apples.
You can look at his picture, dog, and tell he's on a power trip.
Well, what do you do if you're not the cop but the other guy in that situation? What do you do if that's you? Some cops, you're at a hotel.
There's nothing you can do.
You can
Because
fucking kill that cop and have a day in court. That's what you can do.
Desperately to listen to his
You can
direction.
fucking shoot that motherfucker and have a day in court to defend
He
yourself.
was sobbing and begging.
He was begging for his life, dude. He was sobbing. Fuck
Him
that.
saying, don't shoot me. And then you say, hey, look, I can't follow your directions because they're contradictory. Shut up! Shut up!
It says that a
well,
conversation.
I can't say anything. I can't say anything. I can't do anything. The same thing with Philando Castile. Put your hands up, put your hands down. You put them down, boom, you're dead. But you told me to get my ID. This guy, put your hands up, put your hands down. Oh, you put your hands down. We think in that one split second, his shorts were going down, and he was trying to pull his shorts up. Oh, could have been reaching for a waistband. Could have been.
Don't you have to see a gun before you shoot someone?
No, because they tell them. They tell cops throughout this, not every police department, and there's some great cops. We did a story just this week of that hero in Orlando who now they're going to cut his salary and fire him, by the way. He went in first to the Orlando nightclub shooting, and he saved people's lives, and they're like, he's my hero, right? He has PTSD, wakes up with nightmares of Omar Mateen, a Muslim radical terrorist, shooting people, right? And they're like, no, I'm not going to give you desk duty. I'm just going to fire you right away so you don't complete your 10 years of service so your pension won't be longer. You take the good cops and you crush their souls.
That's exactly what they do.
I did a story about a Baltimore cop who, after there was police abuse that he saw and they broke this guy's leg, he said, you shouldn't break guys' legs, right? After we had him in handcuffs, they throw dead rats on his car. They drove him out of Baltimore, okay? So, yes, there's a lot of good cops, but overall the training is, remember, we don't care about the citizens at all.
They're trained to shoot
That's not
center
our
mass,
objective.
dog.
Our
Everybody's a
objective is
threat.
to be perfectly safe for us. Be selfish,
Yep.
and if you got to shoot someone, even when you don't see a gun, doesn't matter. There
You'll
are
get away
never
with it.
any consequences.
Nope.
TYT membership gets you commercial-free Young Turks.
We out.
Download it, stream it, podcast it, get all the network shows, and support independent media. TYTnetwork.com/join.